Good morning. Well, I'm having a rough morning. I got up fairly early, about 5:30. Don't have to be to work today till 9. Made my coffee. Took my vitamins. Just not banging on all cylinders today. Yesterday I made a big mistake at work. That was a pain. It led to a 12-hour day. 12-hour days are nothing new to me. Just when it's out of my own stupidity, doesn't do anybody any good. But I took responsibility for what I did. Called my manager and I told him, hey, this is what I did. I don't know if it was my fault. Not specifically, but more than likely it was my fault. I definitely missed something I should have caught. Some days you're the windshield and some days you're the bug, as the song goes. Yesterday I was the bug. And this morning, I feel like I'm stuck to the windshield. But we will persevere. In life, there are some rough times at times. I'm seeing those rough times right now. I'm not talking about anything specific, just things don't seem to be going great at the moment. So, what I have to do to get through this, I think what we all have to do, is look toward the proverbial light, to seek out closure to the bad times and beginning of the good times. It is hard to keep a positive attitude when you feel like the world is treating you poorly all the time. But it's possible. And for me, for the most part, the world is not treating me poorly. Usually, these obstacles of life are created by myself. And can be solved by myself. So, last night I had a little bit of a discussion with the wife about meditation and the belief system that she's following and the belief system that I'm following. Oftentimes we try and see if there's any parallel thinking, parallel beliefs, and we can fall into, kind of a symbiotic motion forward with each other. And meditation came up. And oftentimes, I'd say 2 or 3 times a week, I will find myself meditating. This started really as a young Catholic child I don't think they recognized it as meditation at the time. I think now that there are some clergy that do believe this is a form of meditation, but saying the rosary to me became something of a meditation, and I would do it. And that was very calming to me, the repetition. When I became more of an adult, or toward adulthood, I had a priest tell me that I was doing it wrong, that I was saying it so in a fashion that the words had no meaning. Many of you may not know what the rosary is. It's the beads that you see Catholics carrying with them. Those are rosary beads, and each bead represents a prayer, and the prayers repeat over and over again. And what the priest was telling me was that I need to concentrate on every single word. And I did that because as a young, impressionable child or adult, young adult, I was trying to be the good Catholic. So I was doing that, and I lost the meditative quality of saying the rosary, and it became a chore. Now, he was right. I was not concentrating on every word of every prayer when I was doing it. I was concentrating enough to count them, but I was using it as a meditation. What is the word? The repetition of the prayers. What everybody considers meditative sounds, the Om, that's basically what the prayers became, and I was able to dislocate myself from myself. It's a hard thing to describe, but I was able to stand back from myself and relax my being and disconnect from the world. And I think that was the first time that I meditated. Now I meditate 2 or 3 times a week on purpose and try to disengage from life. I've had pastors tell me that this is the point of prayer, but I pray as well, but my prayers have intentions, and I try not to mix the two. I think that when you're meditating and you're stepping back from life and you're kind of putting everything on neutral, that's a different thing than prayer. Prayer is usually either done with the intent of so some of these thoughts that I'm having, some people are not going to agree with, and I'm okay with that. It's freedom of religion, not freedom from religion. If you don't like what I have to say, excuse me. If you don't like what I have to say, there's the stop button. Just reach up there and click it off. Good to go. A lot of people don't like to hear what I say lately. I'm good with that. If you're making everybody happy, you're probably not making yourself happy. But my opinion is prayer is either adoration of a greater being, unity with a group of people, again, in adoration of that greater being, gratefulness to a greater being or a greater a greater cause. That's a difficult one for me to describe also. And probably the most common prayer, and the one that I had to break my habit off the most, was the request prayer, or the bargaining prayer. You know, the "Dear Lord above, please do this and I'll do this. If you grant me," it doesn't have to be a thing. "If you grant me peace and tranquility, I will I will do such and such. I'll never drink another drink." Whatever, you know, the bargaining is. The request prayer is, you know, "Lord, please grant me peace and tranquility." So that's a hard habit to break. I had to break myself of it. I did. I try when I pray to be thankful, grateful for graces in my life, for the people in my life, and for the peace and tranquility I'm able to achieve. But then that does not give me the same effect that meditation will. So when I meditate, and I don't do it in the, what do they call it, the lotus position. I can. Okay, I almost can. I'm 60. Can't quite get my legs in that position anymore. But the meditating helps me disengage. In bodybuilding, they build their muscles by working the muscle and then resting their muscle. Working their muscle, resting their muscle. I kind of try to do the same thing with meditation. Whether you believe it's your mind or your spirit or whatever. I work my spirit, I try and rest my spirit. I work my spirit, I try and rest my spirit. And the meditation is that rest. Hey little girl. That's my co-host, Raja. And that's why I meditate. Because when I'm done meditating, when I'm done disengaging, it is a more tranquil and peaceful existence for me. I don't get the same thing from prayer. I think prayer is important. I think it's very important. It's very important in my life. However, I think that God or the universe or whatever you choose to believe has given us the ability to seek out peace and tranquility. A lot of people believe in an interventionist God. I'm kind of ambivalent about that. I think that God can be an interventionist. God can help. But I think he's more of a subtle being. I think he's more of a stand back and let us create our own world being. The whole thought that evil is a choice means that evil was given to us by God as a choice. So technically, evil is a gift of God. We can choose it or not. So the God that I worship is not he doesn't have a hands-on effect for the most part. He's giving us a choice. And it's up to us whether we make that choice or not. Wow, that went far afield from meditation, didn't it? These videos started. Let me back up just a second. I think Many things can be a meditation. Once you get into the groove of an action or a thought or a sound, anything can be a meditation. I used to clean pistols fairly often. And when I did, I oftentimes would sit with the wife across the table from me, this table, and we would clean our guns. And I would realize at some point that I wasn't hearing what she was saying. And I'd have to remind myself, okay, what you're doing is you're entering into a meditative state while you're cleaning a pistol, because the actions are very repetitive to clean the pistol. And it was very cathartic to keeping my hands and mind busy, and it allowed me to disengage. So cleaning a Glock can be meditative. Glock is my pistol of choice. I prefer the dependability. It's called Rambling with Joe. We're going from meditation all the way over to pistol preference. So it is an important aspect of life for me to be able to meditate and disengage. If I can't do it, my life is not as good. And it is a choice that has been given to me, and I choose to do it. I have been told in the past by some very extreme Christians that meditating is against God's plan, against God's word, against God. And I don't buy it. I don't buy it. It makes me feel better. It gives me peace. It allows me to see clearer what's ahead. It also allows me to disengage from the trials and the pains of life. So as you age, you start to get more and more joint pain and this kind of thing. And when I meditate, I can disengage from that pain. The pain's still there. I'm still experiencing it. It's just not affecting me like it is when I'm not meditating. How can I put this? If you are walking across a parking lot and you have joint pain in your knees, it hurts. But if you're sitting in a chair and you have joint pain, it's not standing out as much. However, if you're on your hands and knees and you're laying tile, that knee pain is extreme and you notice it a lot more. Meditating to me is more like sitting in the chair. The pain, the trials of life are still there. However, they're not as significant to you. They're not impacting you as they do in life. Sometimes when I say something during these videos, it's a realization for me as much as it is for the thoughts I'm trying to convey. Oh yeah, that's right. Who'd have thought that? Oh yeah, I'd have thought it. I just did. I'm having a better morning, which is kind of the point of these videos. I'm starting to have a better morning. And hopefully, I will have a better day. Cats give me better days. When this little girl comes up to me and says, "Pick me up," that's a good thing. Because she's not a cat that likes to be picked up very much. Are you, little girl? No, you're not. Cats are kind of meditative in their own rights. I mean, they insist on being patted. Yes, little girl. And that action is repetitive. And the purring is a sound. And when you hear it, studies have shown that when a cat purrs, it lowers your blood pressure, it lowers your heart rate, all the things that meditation is supposed to do. Perhaps cats were given to us as a source of inspiration for meditation. Well, I suppose 20 minutes is long enough for a ramble. I hope you all have a great day and a good cup of coffee, and I hope you find peace, love, and the ability to dream. I'll see you next time.